Okay. Right. At the time that you were having that conversation after Kaylee went missing, I mean, why was it that you and Cindy, why was it that Cindy was telling you that, or why was it that the two of you were having the conversation? Was that having to do with whether Casey might have done something to Kaylee, or?
We were trying to track down Kaylee.
Okay, and as part of that, that's how this came up about the earlier lies and inconsistencies that she told. Okay, I got you. During those conversations there, tell me everything that you can remember about Cindy trying to do exactly what you were talking about when you say you were trying to find out where Kaylee was. Tell me a little bit more about what Cindy was saying about what Casey had said and the lies she had told.
Those were the two things that the one conversation about my college graduation, how I said that, I was upset because Casey had to leave, and I was like, I was mad at Cindy. I told Cindy, I was mad at you because you pulled her out of my graduation. And she said, she stole a bunch of money from me. And I said, well, I thought it was because she wasn't registering for classes. And she says she doesn't have a high school diploma. So those two were tied together.
Right.
And I mean, anything else was just us trying to trace down Casey during the times where Kaylee was missing.
Okay. Now, during that time when Kaylee was missing and you were having this conversation with Cindy, was there discussion or talk about Zanny at that point?
We were trying to figure out who she was.
Okay. And what did tell me a little bit more about that as far as Cindy and your conversations about trying to figure out who this person was.
She didn't have any more clue than any of us did.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about that. Was it when you had the conversations? I mean, because as you may know, Cindy has said that Zenaida or Zanny was a common name that they had heard and they knew all about her. Was that the impression you got?
That's what she said. I mean, that Casey had talked about it, the nanny, but they had never met her, as far as what they told me.
Okay. And did they ever say to you, hey, we had her phone numbers or anything like that?
Not that I can remember.
And so certainly during the time when Kaylee was missing, there were some questions about whether this person was even real or existed. Okay. And these were questions Cindy had as well?
Yes. She wanted to know if any of us knew her, and none of us do.
You mind?
Go ahead.
Would you mind if I just ask a couple whispering?
Just give. Okay. Because it's like telephone.
Just on the conversation with Cindy, was Cindy saying things to you that indicated she doubted whether this person, the nanny, existed?
No, because she always knew that Kaylee was safe. But, her blatantly coming out and saying, I don't think this person existed, those words never came out of her mouth.
Actually, tell me what she would say to you in this. Y'all are both trying to get to the bottom of this question. I'm just trying to figure out what Cindy was saying to you. I don't expect you to remember exactly.
I don't remember
what was the gist of what she was saying?
She's just that she's talked to her before. Heard Casey talk about the nanny before. I don't think that Cindy's ever talked to the nanny herself. But, to me, it seemed like that this person did exist.
That Cindy was acting as if she thought she existed.
Yes, that Cindy thought this person existed.
Okay, and then what was she saying about, what did she say to you, the gist of it, in trying to find this person?
Just trying to figure out who she was hanging out with at the time, who her friends were. It was a long time ago, and there was so much going on.
When you say trying to find out who her friends were, you're talking about Casey?
Casey, yeah, who Casey was hanging, because nobody knew this person. None of my friends. My friends are Casey's core group of friends. She had friends outside of us, but we really didn't hang out with all those other friends that she had. She'd go from group to group. We didn't hang out with them. But it was like a work friend or someone who babysat someone she worked with's kids.
And how was the name, this Zanny, the nanny name, even coming up that y'all were trying to talk about who she might be? How had it come up at all?
We had all met at their house to make a timeline to see, try to trace Casey's steps, to figure out, where Kaylee was.
In what time frame? Is this after?
This is after July 15th.
Okay. Is Casey in jail at the time?
Yes.
Okay, and you say we were all together, who's we?
Me and my friends. Me, Sean Daly, Chris Stutz, Christina, I don't know Christina's last name. I think Stephanie was there. There was a couple of people, but I don't remember who they were.
And Cindy.
And Cindy.
Was George there?
I don't think he was. I think he was at work, or he was out doing something. I don't recall him being there.
And where were y'all?
At their house.
And so at this time, Casey's in jail, but she has told this story of that Kaylee is with this Zanny the Nanny or Zenaida Gonzalez, and y'all are trying to figure out who she is so you could try to help find her. Is that the
Yes.
gist of it?
Yes.
And in that setting, no one had a clue who she was.
No, sir.
And in that setting, Cindy Anthony gave no indication that she had any way of contacting this person.
No, sir.
Do you think in the context of that conversation, if Cindy had had addresses or phone numbers on Zanny the Nanny, that would have likely come out?
Absolutely.
And it did not?
It did not.
Okay. And she didn't say anything about having address books or phone numbers or anything written down and having turned them over to the police or anything like that for Zanny the Nanny?
Not that I can remember.
Would you likely remember that if she had said that?
Because I would have wanted to know.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Feel free at any time. I don't mind, seriously.
It's just kind of rude you sitting there and I'm whispering.
No, it's all right. It's all right. No offense.